Just like humans, our four-legged friends can also develop medical conditions. This is Rascal. Rascal is a 7-year-old Jack Russell Yorkshire Terrier crossbreed. He's also known as approximately 1 in 500 dogs suffers from diabetes mellitus. But what is diabetes and how does it affect your dog? We spoke to Sarah Thompson, a veterinary surgeon with Albavet.
So diabetes is a hormone disorder. So in the body, the pancreas produces a hormone called insulin, and that reduces the body's blood sugar. In diabetics, they don't have enough insulin, so then the blood sugar is very, very high in the body.
Insulin acts like a key to those cells, allowing glucose to get inside. Without it, glucose is locked out. In diabetic dogs, whose bodies naturally produce little to no insulin, the glucose builds up in the bloodstream, the cells don't get the energy they need, and signs of disease start to become visible. There are a number of common symptoms found in those dogs suffering from diabetes. These are excessive thirst, excessive urination, excessive appetite, weight loss despite a good appetite, cloudy eyes or vision loss, thinning, dry and dull coat, sleepiness and lethargy. According to Rascal's owner, Colin Jackson, a number of these symptoms were occurring.
Well, he was very lethargic, and he also went to the toilet a couple of times in the house in one day, which we knew was not correct. There was something wrong because this was outside his normal walks. So we took him to the vets, and they reckoned it was diabetes, but they did blood and urine tests to check for blood sugar levels, and unfortunately, yep, it came back that he was diabetic.
In order to improve the blood sugar level, a shot of insulin is normally needed. And as with any medical condition, this can have an effect on day-to-day life.
That's a major difference now, because previously he didn't have to be on any set time scales in regards to his meals or his walks as such, but now because of his diabetes he does have to get an insulin injection every 12 hours after he's eaten. So obviously that has to be, there can be some variance, maybe 30 minutes, an hour either side, but it's got to be as close to 12 hours as possible. So obviously I need to rotate his schedules depending on which schedules I'm working, because sometimes I'll be on the early shifts, sometimes back shifts, and it's really a case, everything has to be catered around about Rascal now because of his condition.
As with diabetes in humans, dogs are not immune to complications.
So cataracts is one, so they can go blind. They can get bad urinary tract infections because having the sugar in the urine means bacteria can grow, and other infections in the body can be worse than in a normal dog.
As Colin found, once managed properly, diabetes doesn't have to have an adverse reaction on your relationship with your dog.
I think the only thing that really has changed is I think he trusts me a bit more now as well, because when he was first getting his injections, he was a bit, I would say troublesome, but obviously it's not an enjoyable thing having to get an injection twice a day, but he now has his routine where obviously he'll lie down his sides, he'll give me a high five with his paw, and then I'll give him his injection, and then he gets a dentist stick, so that's his reward for being a good boy and getting his jack.
With such a serious medical condition, what is the prognosis for a dog diagnosed with diabetes?
Really good if it's picked up early, so if you get it early and you get them on and we give them sort of fake insulin, it's really good because then the blood sugar goes back to normal and they should be drinking less and their appetite becomes stable and their weight stable, and they do really, really well.
And how about Rascal?
Rascal's doing really well, so he is now pretty stable, so his drinking is not too bad now, and his weight's been stable and his appetite's good, so he's still got a few wee tweaks I think here and there, but he's doing pretty good. I think his prognosis is good.
I would say it wouldn't have a major upheaval on your relationship with your dog, because at the end of the day they're still your dog. You know, I mean, if you treat them with love and you treat them correctly, they'll give you love back regardless. I mean, with Rascal, despite being diabetic, he still loves his cuddles, he still loves to give people kisses, he still goes absolutely crazy with them that comes in the house or tries to leave. I mean, he's 8 years old, but he's still a puppy at heart, and even his diabetes hasn't affected that.
Many dogs diagnosed with this condition go on to live long, happy and healthy lives, just like Rascal.